Welcome to lecture number 10, Monitoring Our Children. The Internet, with its easy access to virtually limitless information and instantaneous connectivity with friends and strangers alike, is a powerful educational and social tool. The Internet is not without risk, however, particularly for children who may become the target of cyberbullies or pedophiles, or be exposed to pornography or other inappropriate content, or themselves make inappropriate posts which will adversely affect their later lives. Arguably, the Internet poses a greater risk of harm to children than do TV, movies, or music. In light of this risk, numerous laws have been enacted to specifically protect children from online dangers and to safeguard their privacy and to prevent exploitation by advertisers and businesses. For example, the Childhood Internet Protection Act, passed in 2000, requires schools and libraries who receive federal funds to install Internet filters on computers used by minors. And virtually every state has passed anti-cyberbullying laws, and child pornography is vigorously prosecuted under a variety of criminal statutes. With respect to privacy concerns, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, passed by Congress in 1998, specifically protects the privacy of children under the age of 13 by requiring parental consent for the collection and use of any personal information of a minor. The FTC is charged with enforcing the act, known by its acronym COPPA. The FTC recently amended its guidelines to reflect modern-day technological advances such as mobile devices and apps. The new guidelines, which take effect in July of 2013, are intended to shield kids' personal information from advertisers and from software companies that design ads and apps directed specifically at children. The definition of personal information was expanded to include usernames and email addresses. Recently, several high-profile companies, most notably Disney, were fined for failing to comply with the act. But legislation alone cannot protect children from all online dangers. As a result, a booming industry has developed in response to the desire of parents to monitor and regulate their children's online activities. Parents can now employ an array of tools which allow them to not only block their child's access to inappropriate websites, but also to essentially embed themselves inside every device their child uses and to gather real-time intelligence on the child's physical whereabouts and their online activities. Let's take a brief look at some of the more popular surveillance and parental control tools used by parents anxious to keep up with the digital lives of their children and to ensure their physical safety. Numerous companies offer geolocation tracking devices which operate through GPS and can be sewn into clothing or worn as an ID bracelet or placed in a student's backpack or shoes. The products contain features such as real-time location display of the child's whereabouts every 8 seconds, sending a text whenever the child leaves a designated area, or sending an email alert to a parent when the child arrives at a desired location, such as a school. Many cell phone companies are addressing parental concerns over teen texting and driving by offering apps on their phones which will automatically disable a phone's texting and calling features while driving. The software allows an override in an emergency and automatically notifies a parent if the override is used. There are dozens of these so-called parental control or social safeguard software programs which give the parents the ability to block access to certain websites or place time limits on computer or cell phone use, or receive a report of what websites their child visits and when. Here's a screenshot of a printout showing what websites Bobby visited on April 1st. Note that the parent can elect to view the actual site visited, see what other parents say about the website, block future access to the site, receive an alert when the website is visited again, or set time restrictions on when the site may be visited. Other programs monitor and log all emails and text messages. A recent Pew study showed that 64% of teens with a cell phone had texted during class, and that the average teen who texts sends over 125 messages every day. Here is a screenshot of a typical report showing the chat and other instant messaging of a child. Here, an IM chat between Christine and Ingrid, who are planning on sloughing school while the parents are out of town and Grandma is staying with them. Note that common abbreviations like NFC, no effing clue, and LOL, laughing out loud, are translated for the user. Christine, how's it going? Ingrid, not bad. Parents left on vacation. Christine, who watching you? Ingrid, grandparents. Christine, and they have NFC. Ingrid, what you mean? Christine, skipping school tomorrow with Brad. You in? Ingrid, is Kyle going? Christine, yes, it will be so cool. Ingrid, I'm in. LOL. A parent can even monitor what their child is searching for on Google or other search engines. Here is a screenshot of a printout that Chris's parents would receive showing that on March 26th, he searched for World of Warcraft, Columbine, cheap tattoos, growing marijuana, and lovely girls XXX. Chris is obviously a typical 16-year-old. Let's watch this video by Sprint of a mobile device monitoring system it offers parents.
It's hard to help my kids make decisions about when it's appropriate to use their phones. Sprint Mobile Controls shows me how my kids use their phones and lets me set limits on games, calls, and texts. I can view a summary of the calls and texts my kids made this week. If they're texting in class, I can set their phone to receive only my phone calls during school hours. I can prevent them from texting during dinner time with a single click. Sprint Mobile Controls also lets me keep track of who my kids contact the most, so I can stay up to date with their new friends. Help your kids use their phones responsibly. Sign up for your 30-day free trial of Sprint Mobile Controls.
Parents are monitoring their child's online activities not only out of a concern that their child may be engaging in inappropriate online activities, but also to act as an early warning system of future trouble. Using sophisticated linguistics analysis software, parents can monitor emails, texts, internet searches, and social media posts to look for certain behaviors such as bullying, swearing, loneliness, violence, sexuality, and use of dangerous acronyms. Of course, this pervasive monitoring by parents of their children obviously raises issues about where the appropriate line is between a parent's right to exercise their parental authority and a child's right to privacy. Most parents justify their monitoring on the grounds that safety trumps privacy. One mother said she discloses her surveillance to her children and admonishes them to get used to it, as they will also be surveilled as adults. The United Nations and other countries have expressly recognized a child's right of privacy, but the right is usually defined with respect to third parties, not parents. In the United States, children nearing the age of majority do have legally recognized privacy rights with respect to their parents in certain specific contexts, such as access to abortions and contraceptives. But the contours and scope of a child's privacy from one's parents is not entirely clear. This video does not address this issue, but the subject will be discussed in this week's Question of the Week, which poses the following question: should children have a right of privacy in relation to their parents? Next week, we will begin discussing the topic of who is responsible for regulating and enforcing privacy in the United States. We will specifically analyze the interplay between Congress, the courts, regulatory agencies, and NGO privacy advocacy groups.